What the? Whoa. Snowflakes? Reindeer? Peppermint? Superfluous jingle bells? This could only mean one thing. What's it mean, Patrick?
It means indigestion.
Yeah, that's good enough. Welcome to another episode of Jukebox Zeroes. I'm Lee.
I'm Patrick.
Hey, we're here recording back in Marlboro once again at Jukebox Zeroes headquarters, the Jukebox Studio, I'm going to call it right now.
Yeah, the Jizz Studio.
Just studio?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I mean, the Jizz Studio is
don't
probably not a good idea. Not a good call.
That's
Let's backpedal. Let's start this over. Hi.
Whoa, time warp. Throw it off real quick to our boys in Froggy and the Friendship for providing the theme song once again.
Yes, thank you.
And before we introduce our guests, let's get into the part that everyone loves the most. Apologies. That's the apologies jingle.
Oh yeah, I'll fix it in post.
Yeah, please do. See if we can get the Supremes.
I'll get right on
backing
that.
vocals. So I sound terrible on the last episode because I can't control my plosives, and for that I apologize. Like the whole episode, both Adam and Pat were just talking about the ins and outs of 1980s synth pop about Ministry, and I was just sort of off in the corner going peppers and pumpkins and pumpernickels and.
I kind of liked it actually. It felt guttural. I
felt
felt it in my.
It felt
in my
organic.
innards.
Yeah, not just because I was just talking about food.
Yeah.
But now, just to peer behind the curtain, we got these handy dandy new pop guards. So. Yeah, so plosive away to your heart's content.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be plosiving.
Yeah. Plosives ahoy.
Next year.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
All right. So,
that's the new tagline. Plosives ahoy. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
We'll fix it in post.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming up, and various other holidays. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
And the others.
And the others. Halloween, like... Way far out.
That's a long while away,
yeah.
But yes.
It is coming up. And actually,
Valentine's Day.
The next Christmas is actually coming up, too. The 2018 Christmas.
Oh, we didn't plan for that.
Soon. No.
Not at all.
I'm ready. I got my wish list.
Either way, like, it's the holiday season, and the holiday season is the time for friends and family. And as luck would have it, we got both as our guests today. Why don't you introduce your guest, and I'll introduce mine.
All right. This is a young lady I've known for quite a long time, old friend of mine. Her name is Aimee Hauthaway.
Hello.
That was her voice.
That was her.
And I'd like to introduce my guest. He's a fellow I've known for a long time because he's kind of my brother. Glenn Martin is here.
Hi.
That's how he sounds like.
Awesome. Who's older?
I'm 30.
No, I mean like between the brothers.
Glenn's older than me. And that's all we're going to say.
But he's still your younger brother, though.
What?
But he's older than you?
Sure. I'm having some trouble unwrapping that sentence, but sure.
Well, time's a construct.
Time and tide.
Yes.
Time and time again.
So what are we talking about today? We're just talking about Christmas music, right? We're going to kind of wing it, a little freeform Christmas riff.
Normally this is the part where we introduce the album that we're doing, but... we don't have one this time around. So I mean, there's plenty of objectionable and controversial holiday music out there, but as far as we're aware of, there hasn't really been like a full album noteworthy of treatment.
No.
Nothing that we could just focus on that on.
No, but there are definitely a lot of mistakes. And that's sort of what we do best is reviewing these mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And critiquing them.
But hey, I mean, if we come up with one later and, you can think of one that we didn't bring up, we'll save it for next year's Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah,
So, yeah,
there's like 90,000 Christmas songs.
Oh, totally. and more to come, I'm sure. There's probably someone writing the next big Christmas song right now as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
Come to ruin the lives of retail workers everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Amy pointed at herself. As you're writing the next Christmas song?
It's in the works. I can't say much, but...
Well,
speaking of ruining the lives of retail workers, what's everybody's position in Whamageddon so far?
Oh, I haven't heard it yet.
Me neither.
Yeah.
What's Whamageddon?
Yeah, what is Whamageddon?
So Whamageddon, apparently it's This game, much like the game that we've all just lost, and so have all of our listeners, apologies. But yeah, the object of the game is to avoid hearing Wham's Last Christmas. Just the original version, covers and remixes are fine, but it's supposedly as soon as you hear the song, you're supposed to share on social media that you got tagged or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen a few people
That
on
you
my
lost
feed
the
do
Wham?
that already.
You lost the Whamageddon, yes.
I was out on Thanksgiving.
No, I haven't heard the song yet.
What?
I haven't heard it yet.
No.
I mean, either. I've been in department stores where I've heard the song, but it's always been covers of it.
I
Yeah.
work in a store, so it's multiple times a day.
Oh,
Right.
boy. I mean, the original one is the best one by far.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
My
it's
girlfriend likes to refer to George Michael as the King of Ham.
Wham.
You
Get
know, I hadn't thought of that.
Well, I just did, so you're welcome.
But
Yeah.
yeah, this is basically what we're in for today, folks. We're just going to be just riffing and discussing various different Christmas songs themselves, sharing some of our memories and experiences we've had dealing with the sounds of the season. All four of us have, or currently still have, worked a job where we've had far too much exposure to these festive sounds, so I'm sure we've all got opinions. Before we get too deeply into them, why don't we just go ahead and just share our little bona fides of, how we're qualified for that. Personally, before I got to my current job, while I was going through college, I pretty much worked retail every holiday season, mostly at Michael's craft stores. So, Amy just fist pumped.
I'm a frequenter.
Fantastic. But yeah, that's my bona fides. What about you guys?
All right. I worked at Whole Foods for over a decade, and I worked in the meat department, which is for Christmas time, it's the busiest, highest volume time of the year for pretty much any of the departments, but especially for the fucking main course. So it was the pains of having to deal with that, coupled with hearing essentially the same 14 obnoxious songs,
Oh,
but
boy.
various iterations of it over and over for 14 hours a day, because
Because the shifts are longer.
yeah, the shifts are longer, and I was soured. I loved Christmas when I was a kid, and unfortunately retail really kind of soured it for me.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
I mean, that's understandable, but that's still a shame.
I really, it was being on the other side of it, being screamed at
Down
by,
in the shit.
yeah, down in the old
In the
shit.
trenches.
The trenches.
In the shit trenches.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Well, for the last 15 years, with the exception of maybe 7 months, I have worked at some form of grocery store. So that has been my career. So if you're lucky, you work at a store that starts Christmas music after the 1st of December. If you're not lucky, they start pre-Thanksgiving. And disclaimer, I actually enjoy Christmas music, the tunes that I choose to listen to, but if I hear Taylor Swift one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think Wham's Last Christmas might be the last good one. I think that's the tail end of
But that was the
anything
first
good.
one, Patrick.
The first one?
The last song overall, the last good Christmas song overall.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought you meant the last
over the
good version of that song.
Over the course of time. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, we'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a topic we could probably expand on a bit.
How about you, Glenn? I know you worked at UPS during the holiday season at one point.
I have not worked retail, but I did work as a package handler at a UPS sorting hub for 3 years. And management saw fit to choose to pipe in Christmas music into the trucks we were loading, which was always fun.
Oof.
so it's just direct shot,
it doesn't-
direct injection of this Christmas
it didn't
music.
help the fact that at least once we would all have to come in extra early because we have a giant shipment of Harry Potter books to get out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They were going to me.
That's right. You were working there when that was at
I
its
think it was
peak.
Goblet of Fire that was being distributed at the time.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause
So-
that came out around Christmas, right?
So
Yeah.
you've got to get your they track how many packages you're moving per minute. You have to get something I had something like 600 packages in 1 minute or something like that.
Jesus
Oh, boy.
Christ.
I imagine one nice thing about that is just after listening to so much Christmas music and loading a truck, I mean, that would pretty much just encourage you to just start throwing packages at the truck to try to drown it out with, to either try to kill the music from within or to drown it out with reverberated plate metal.
Depending on the package, we did that anyway.
Yeah, so sometimes they start the music like the day after Thanksgiving, and that's fucking bullshit. I would hate that.
At the mall, it was Halloween. After Halloween, it was the day after Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no.
I was at like one of our local malls. One of my local malls is the Pheasant Lane Mall in Nashua, New Hampshire. I'm sure they're not listening, so we can call them out. Like, I was there on Halloween night to run some kind of errand. The Christmas stuff was already out on Halloween, and that was just so depressing. They weren't playing music yet, but there were people in costumes walking around, and there were wreaths and lights everywhere as well. So the contrast was, deafening.
Deafening.
You're on notice, Simon Properties.
I'm sure they're not listening. I'm sure it's fine. But hey, Simon Properties, if you are listening, come on the podcast.
We were just talking about
we'll suss it out. You can help us review Love Beach.
We were just talking about the Solomon Pond Mall too, which
right?
I just
before
found
we started
out.
Recording.
Yeah, which I just found out existed. It's a mall in Marlboro, apparently.
Oh.
It's a pretty big mall too.
Yeah, I went to see the Star Wars at the movie theater, and it was it was. We sat in the front row because it was all filled up, and my neck was pretty sore by the end of it. But it's a decent theater. Got snacks. They had them. No big whoop.
Sounds like you had a really nice time.
As one would expect a theater to have.
Yeah.
I mean, Solomon Pond for me, what sets it apart is it's one of the few malls relatively local to me that I'm aware of that still has an Arby's in its food court.
Oh wow!
I've never seen an Arby's.
Does it still have an Arby's in its food court?
I don't know. I've never been inside, but there's an Arby's in
The
New England.
I mean, the only other one I can think of, there's one in Nashua that's just a standalone Arby's next to an ice cream place.
Jeez.
So that's fun.
Oh, that's so weird. What do they even do? They make like sandwiches or something, right?
It's like fast food roast beef.
Yes.
Who wants that?
I don't know. I kind of like it from time to time.
Is it good? Like, is it
pretty
like
good.
Pretty fresh?
It's pretty good if you can get it like straight out of the oven, but they're pretty stingy on the portions.
Yeah,
and
I would
aside
imagine.
from the food, they're currently competing with Wendy's to see who can get the most social media cred.
Oh
Right.
yeah, they're doing a bunch of social media right now. They're featured extensively on that new Zach Galifianakis show, Baskets. I don't know if anyone's caught that.
I haven't. I've heard it's really funny.
It is.
Hey, when's a good time to have roast beef? Christmas. Let's tie it back into Christmas songs. Before we start really just riffing, what are some of your favorite Christmas songs? My personal favorites, the Nat King Cole version of the Christmas song, Father Christmas by the Kinks, and Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl.
Yeah, I mean, Vince Guaraldi trio always is my
absolutely.
bae.
That's a classic.
Absolutely, yeah.
That shit's good to listen to like any time of the year.
It's a standard.
If they wanted to replace the Christmas music streams with an endless loop of the instrumental version of Christmas Time Is Here, I would be fine with that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just like lush jazz, bossa jazz shit. I love it.
Absolutely. It's so good.
Yeah, and I don't mind Last Christmas. That's that's fun.
Yeah,
that
Last Christmas isn't one of my favorites, but I still like it just for how hammy it is.
Yeah,
so
I
much
don't know.
ham.
You can't go wrong with fucking Bing.
Bing Crosby?
Mm-hmm.
No, Bing Sullivan. He's
I'm not familiar with Bing Sullivan. What did he do?
he's a Polynesian. I don't know.
Theremin player?
Yes, thank you for finishing that joke for me.
A Theremin Christmas.
I don't know. I can't think of any more. Let's come back to me.
All right.
Aimee, what do you think?
Definitely on the Vince Guaraldi train. Also, any version of Carol of the Bells, because I feel like that song's actually really creepy. It's super dark and ominous, but it puts me in the holiday spirit every time.
It's like the Halloween theme in 6/8.
Oh my god, it kind of is.
Yeah.
I have a feeling if you took that song and put it in a minor key, no one would notice.
Nope.
That's how creepy it can get sometimes.
And you're probably into like the Frank Sinatra and like that sort of
absolutely.
shit, right?
My grandparents like bred me to love all the crooners. But lately I've been into the instrumental, like jazzy iterations of Christmas songs. It's good for driving.
Yeah, those were always fun. How about you, Glenn? What are some of your... I mean, obviously you mentioned the Vince Guaraldi.
Right. And I would have to second your statement about Nat King Cole and expand it to some of the other Christmas songs he's done.
That version to me is the definitive version. Like, for me, to the point where like no other version of that song will do. Like Nat King Cole
roasting on
Nat
an
King
open
Cole
fire.
just nailed it so perfectly that why would you ever need another?
Yeah, it's so pure. Yeah. So it's called the Christmas song officially?
I think that's the official title, yeah.
That's crazy. I always thought it was Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire.
Well, sometimes people will call it the Christmas song brackets Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. Because it's one of those things where like no one's going to know what you're talking about unless you include that one vocal hook.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day because Vince Guaraldi does a version of the Christmas song. And yeah, it's titled The Christmas Song. I was like, what the fuck? So,
way to narrow it down, Nat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's other Christmas songs, but mine's the Christmas song.
I mean,
I'm Nat King Cole. This is how I talk.
The ultimate song. I mean, it's much more succinct title. I'm down with it.
And Nat King Cole also does the definitive version of "O Come All You Faithful," with possibly the exception of the Saturday Night Live performance featuring Vanessa Williams and Luciano Pavarotti.
Oh man, I missed that one. But wait, was it actually them like as musical guests?
Yeah, they were the musical guests that episode.
So it wasn't like Daryl Hammond as Vanessa Williams and Andy Samberg as Pavarotti.
Why would Andy Samberg be Pavarotti?
And why,
he looks just
wait,
like
does that mean Daryl Hammond was Vanessa Williams?
Yeah, that's what the man of 1,000 faces, you know?
Oh boy!
If he could do Jesse Jackson, he can do Vanessa Williams.
Oh yeah.
Oof. Is that problematic by now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's extremely.
The Nat King Cole Christmas song actually, and Glenn will probably have words to say about this. It was on this. It was part of a compilation that, like, both our parents had called Ultimate R&B Christmas that they play every year during the holiday. It had some fantastic R&B covers of holiday songs, and like I'd say that's probably like kind of like songs of our childhood, basically, for how much they played it. It's got some good ones on it. They've got Lou Rawls doing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Booker T and the MGs do Jingle Bells. Al Green does a version of I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Ooh, sexy.
It's all good. It's all so good.
Yeah, also, fucking Al Green.
White Christmas as performed by Otis Redding, which is... Oh, it's a trip.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great song, but you kind of have to get over the fact that he really kind of drags it out.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
That sounds fantastic.
The only version of White Christmas that is possibly better in my mind is the Drifters version.
Is that the Drifter? Wait, is that the famous version? That's like
that is the bouncy doo-wop one that you're probably thinking of. Yes,
that's the ba-da ba-doo doop 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 doop.
Yeah, I'm glad we all know it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that version's pretty sick actually. Yeah.
One particularly baffling original track from that compilation I will point out. Quiet Storm artist Freddie Jackson sings a song called Christmas Forever. It's a perfectly fine like 90s R&B song in its right, but I'll just say that sentiment not a good idea. Same goes for that Christmas song that's like if you love somebody it's Christmas every day. Don't have Christmas every day.
The sentiment behind the Freddie Jackson song, it's kind of questionable, but I really like the production behind that one.
Yeah, it's nice and bouncy and stuff. It's like a Belle Biv DeVoe song a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
Like a New Jack Swing?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't really know what Quiet Storm necessarily is. That's just
Quiet Storm is think later Marvin Gaye and like Peebo Bryson and Luther Vandross.
Really?
Like really soul singers, but usually really super clean production.
Yeah, I'll have to familiarize myself with that a little more, because when I was looking up Freddie Jackson on Wikipedia, it characterized him as a Quiet Storm artist, and I honestly had no idea what that meant.
Yeah, that's kind of what it means. I think there might have been a radio station called The Quiet Storm or something.
Too many subgenres.
Yeah.
Too many subgenres. Narrow it down, people. All right.
Super
now that we got
technical dub.
Now that we got some of our favorite stuff out of
core.
the way, what do you say we get into some of the more...
some of the stinkies?
Yeah, let's get into
the clips.
Let's get into some crap. Let's just get it right out of the way from the beginning. Paul McCartney. Wonderful Christmas Time. Just listen.
The mood is right. The spirit's up. We're here tonight. And that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The party's on. The feeling's here.
Have at it.
Somebody was having fun with that delay.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, I don't hate this song.
I don't
Really?
hate it either. I actually kind of like it.
Explain yourselves.
It's cute.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking cute.
That could describe so much of Paul McCartney's post-Beatles career, you realize.
He's just someone's nana.
Yeah, exactly. Loves his nanny songs.
That keyboard, really, that keyboard. You just know that Paul picked that up just one day and just had to have fun with it. And the rest of Wings were just we're not putting that on a song.
Okay, here's the thing though. When did that come out? Was that 1979?
I think so. It was late, mid-70s. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 79.
It's like an analog synth, that's not necessarily cutting edge. People are using Fairlights by that point.
I don't know. Maybe it was cutting edge to Paul.
No, it sounds more like you picked it up at a garage sale or something. It was somebody's old Moog. I don't know what the actual keyboard is, and I'm sure some neckbeard at home is fucking pissed that I don't know what synth it is. Fucking charlatan.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Moog.
Yo, yes. Sorry.
Those same people are going to be so angry once we actually review a legit prog rock album. In my experience, there are two groups of people that are the most insufferable music fans: prog rock fans and hardcore metalheads.
Oh God, yeah.
We're with apologies to any of those people that are listening. We're not talking about you specifically.
Just everyone else.
It's the metalheads who
you're fine.
Don't listen to anything else. They're like, metal is the ultimate genre.
Yeah, pretty much.
It has so many subgenres. You listen to folk metal and country metal and...
What is country metal?
I just made that up.
Thank God.
You don't know. It probably exists somewhere.
Southern metal is a thing. That's sort of close enough.
That's like Pantera, basically. A little bit.
It's a little more hillbilly-ish and...
Pantera, Hell Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Maybe some
Hell
of,
Yeah.
I'm spacing on his name. Maybe some of Hank Williams 3's heavier stuff.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And Corrosion Conformity to an extent, too.
Super Joint Ritual.
Yeah, Crowbar, fucking...
We know a lot of metal bands by name.
Yeah, I listened to a lot of it when I was younger. And now I'm too cool for it.
Yeah, we're too cool for a lot of things.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah. Certainly for school.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Christmas.
Yeah. We're so cool for school, we don't even go to it anymore.
Anyway, back to Paul McCartney.
Yeah, that keyboard. How do you suppose, pitching it to, as a song went? I wonder how that might have sounded. We cut to Paul McCartney in an empty studio. Hey guys, I'm Paul McCartney. Check out my groovy new keyboard, John. Oh, that's right. He hates me now. Hey George. Oh, he hates me too. Hey Ringo. No, I don't want to talk to Ringo.
Hey, Paul.
Ooh. All right, let's get to work.
Oh my god. I mean, I think they're just gonna let Paul do whatever the fuck he wants, right?
Yeah, he can
That
be.
was sort of the attitude.
At this point, really, he can be as whimsical as he damn
I mean,
well
wasn't that the
pleases.
message of silly love songs? I'm gonna keep doing
I guess it was.
sweet treacly pap as long as as long as I can still draw breath.
I've heard some covers of this that are pretty abysmal, actually.
Yeah, I'm only familiar with like one cover. No, wait, I know like more than one cover.
I heard a pop punk cover. It's super obnoxious.
Oh no.
Yeah, I have no idea who did it.
That doesn't
like
sound very good
Phoenix
at all.
TX or some
Oh
nonsense.
boy.
Whoa.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Phoenix TX.
Yeah, it was less where did I dig that one up from?
I will say, my one favorite part of the song, I'll just go on the record saying I don't like it. I don't viscerally hate it like so many people do, but I just don't really like it that much. My one favorite part is like the anticlimax that just happens during the bridge where it goes, "The choir of children sing their song. They practiced all year long." And then they show us that brilliant song that they've been practicing all year long. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Oh,
I've never really put
Maybe-
that together.
Maybe go back to choir practice for a little
yeah.
longer.
You know what? That's a trope of Christmas music that we need to talk about, and it's the fucking children's choir. I hate it. It's so like I know it was something that like people held precious back in the 50s, back when like we were like trying to nail the
when it was a purer time.
when it was a pure time and like family units were more stringent. And we were all like, "Hey, don't beat your kids anymore. Like, they're cute. They're actually cute if you let them talk." And they're like, they write letters backwards. Oh, isn't that cute? They just say the darndest things. And we've just gone out of control with that shit.
That was peak Christmas music time.
Yeah.
Because I have this little graphic here. XKCD, the comic, back in 2011,
Very
I
funny
think.
webcomic.
Yes. They did a graph, 20 most played Christmas songs by 2000 through 2009 radio airplay. They're arranged by decade of popular release, and there's a huge peak around the 1950s and 1940s. And at the bottom, there's the following thesis. Every year, American culture embarks on a massive project to carefully recreate the Christmases of baby boomers' childhoods.
Oh my god,
That makes
it's
a lot of
so
sense.
True.
There are two giant stacks, 1940s. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Winter Wonderland,
Frosty.
chestnuts roasting on an open fire, right? Because I guess he doesn't want anyone to get confused about the Christmas song.
Right.
Let It Snow, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, I'll Be Home for Christmas, White Christmas. 1950s, Frosty the Snowman, Sleigh Ride, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Silver Bells, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, Little Drummer Boy, Blue Christmas, Jingle Bell Rock, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
You
That
know,
is 16 of the top 20.
yeah, that's
in
very
those 2
telling.
decades
That
alone.
explains a lot. I mean, it also kind of gives you an idea into why so many Christmas songs, even the more modern ones, are just covers of those songs. There's not
Yeah.
too many new Christmas songs that have been coming out.
So Christmas, like, obviously has been a holiday since
Since Jesus was born.
since Jesus took it away from the pagans, and
Right.
Yeah.
but yeah, the capitalist insanity Christmas really I think got ramped up around the 40s, like right around World War II. It was like all these songs about like coming home for Christmas.
We've got all this wartime production energy, and we
Yeah.
That's when
we
they-
can't just stop.
that's
now
when
that
they
the war,
need-
now that the Nazis are gone.
That's
Yeah.
when they needed people to be spending money.
Right. Well, the Eisenhower years,
especially
yeah.
during the 1950s. That was
Oh,
a boom
yeah.
time.
the Christmas industrial complex began like right around that time. That makes so much sense though. I never thought of that because even by the 60s, like they were doing Motown covers of those same fucking songs.
Yeah.
Pretty
that's
much.
true.
There was
Yeah.
that famous Motown album that Phil Spector produced. What was it? Motown?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He did all the
Phil
the
Spector.
Ronettes?
Phil Spector and Friends Wishes You a Merry Christmas. It had like the Ronettes, Ronnie Spector. I want to say Darlene Love too.
Yeah, you know what, Phil Spector, I'm all set. You don't need to send me a card.
Certainly not in retrospect.
No.
Just for
Jesus
completeness'
Christ.
sake, the 4 remaining songs from the 1930s, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. From the 1960s, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year and Holly Jolly Christmas. And from the 1970s, Feliz Navidad.
Huh.
Wow.
I'm kind of surprised to learn that Santa Claus is Coming to Town is that old of a song.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah.
I would have figured it'd have been around that same period of 40s and 50s sort of stuff.
When was it written?
Sometime in the 1930s. It doesn't give an exact year. I suppose if we bothered to look it up, we could figure it out.
That's interesting.
We're not going to do that. Since you mentioned Sleigh Ride real quick, I have kind of a funny memory about the song Sleigh Ride.
Yes.
When I was in high school, I went to Chelmsford High School, as did Glenn.
Yes.
I want to say it was like junior year of college. To fill an art credit, I was in concert band. And this was like first semester of the year. So it was around, like, it would be around the time when it was holiday Christmas concert time. And the song that we did was Sleigh Ride.
Yep.
That was the big holiday concert song. And I was in the percussion section. For that song, I played just the huge kick drum.
You didn't get to play the sleigh bells?
Nope, I didn't get to do that. I didn't get to play the sleigh bells. I didn't get to play the 2 sticks that you slap together that's supposed to imitate the sound of a whip.
You didn't get to play the like coconuts for the horse hooves?
Nope, those were some actual like wood blocks that people got to hit with sticks.
Oh,
but no,
awesome.
I was on the kick drum. So my job was literally just to keep a 4/4 beat and go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, those like giant fucking kick drum, bass drums that they have.
Because it's basically a march, and
Yeah.
that's marches have no nuance whatsoever. Every time during practice, like I would just try to keep myself interested. I would try to like I was just starting to come into my own as a drummer, and I would try to just sort of mix up the beat with like some shuffly bits. It'd be like so it'd be like boom, 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 and that
Hey.
Mr. Rondina didn't like that one bit.
No, I would imagine not.
Hey, you getting jazzy back there?
No creativity allowed in
But
bands.
the point that I was getting to is if you've ever heard like a straight version of Sleigh Ride that's done with like an orchestra or like a big band or something like that, at the very end before they hit the final crescendo note, they always do like a thing where like the trumpet player plays like a very sort of noise.
Someone in the trumpet section has to do the horse whinny,
Oh my god.
which you do, by the way, by releasing a trumpet slide so that it doesn't hold its note.
Ooh, yeah.
And
Right.
then you have to pull it away from your face while still breathing a note to create that kind of vibrating
like
noise
the
to it.
wavering effect. Yeah.
We tried
behind
to
the
do that.
scenes.
We tried to do that for our concert band performance, and the person who'd been assigned to do that never really caught on just what he was supposed to do. So like his horse whinny always sounded like a pathetic fart.
He was just releasing the spit valve.
Pretty much. Not even not even that. Like it would sound like, okay, he's clearly trying to do a horse, but it's not quite reaching there.
Yeah, old
Like it
grade
ju-
bear
like they
sheep
just
ain't
reached
what
that
she
da-
used to
Clearly,
be.
he does not have the range. Yeah.
They just reached that da 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 da.
Well, son, gotta take old Susie on back, and
No, Pa, no.
it's the circle of life, son. Plus, I want horse burgers tonight.
Horse burgers.
Ain't had one of those.
Someone probably eats horse.
Oh, yeah, like literally every other country in the world eats horse except America. It's their fucking obsession with horses. Fucking cowboys.
Oh, boy. So just to jump ahead to another Christmas song, I don't have a lot to say about it. I just wanted to touch really, really briefly on, this will tie us back into like the 40s and 50s. You know the song Marshmallow World?
Yes, indeed.
Not a song about Christmas. It's a very wintry kind of sounding song, but not really a song about Christmas. But somehow it always gets played around this time of year.
I have something to attach to that, but you can finish your thing first.
I want to say it was back during the 40s and 50s, but it could have been like early 60s. Dean Martin recorded a version of It's a Marshmallow World. And I remember it from my time at Michael's, like a lot more than any other Christmas song because of how hilariously drunk Dean Martin sounds during the thing. Like, if you've heard the song, you might really pick up the same sort of stuff. Like, just listen.
It's a marshmallow world in the winter when the snow comes to cover the ground. It's time for play. It's a whipped cream day. I wait for it to hold you round. Those are marshmallow.
Oh,
I mean,
Dino.
come on. It gets even better when it gets to the bridge, because, like, he just starts slurring all over the place. During the part where it's like,
This man is like a national treasure, and like, how did he get this job?
I don't know. I mean, Dean Martin was always kind of infamous for being, like, the drunkest member of the Rat Pack, but it's, like, really on full display in that cover. Like, ridiculously so.
Yeah, I was getting
too many
hit with
old-fashions.
cocktail olives all over the place.
Sorry.
Really?
Sorry.
Really testing out those cards.
This one's my pop guard, clearly. You can tell because it's covered in the white wine I just spat up.
Speaking of which, let's refill.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
I would argue the same for Winter Wonderland, is that it's not a Christmas song.
Yeah, not really.
So I was going to get to that. So Jingle Bells, right, is the like motif from Jingle Bells. The do, 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 do. It's like always the definitive Christmas motif, right?
Pretty much.
Like you throw that
Like,
in.
if you really want to bring home a Christmassy, like, original song, at least once it'll bring back that motif.
Yeah,
that
like at the end with like a little sleigh bell. Something like, oh yeah, it's a Christmas song.
They'll, like,
It's
slow it down.
Oh.
They'll slow it. They'll, like, gradually slow it down if they really want it to seem deep. Like dun 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 dun.
Do like a little tension on that last chord.
Yeah.
So it's like all
Totally.
jazzy and fucking Robert Goulet.
Yeah, just
So, anyway-
throw in a few bars of Jingle Bells at the end of whatever other Christmas song you happen to be covering. like as I mentioned earlier, the Drifters doing White Christmas. That ends with a short bit of Jingle Bells.
Yeah, it's just like a trope or a motif that they throw. It's like a song within a song.
Yeah.
But anyway, like there's no mention of Christmas or any holiday within like anywhere. And there's like 5 verses in that song. It's literally just about like going through the woods on a sleigh with
Pretty
Jingle
much.
Bells. So it's just
Sleigh
like, how the
riding
fuck
over
did that
snowy
become
terrain,
like
which-
the song?
What? Yeah. So which
You technically
raises
could play
the
it in
question,
March.
Yeah, we could. You could play this in March,
Right.
in January, and February, and
Very early April.
Yeah, New
Maybe.
England.
we do live in New England, so it's entirely
Yeah.
a possibility. So
Certainly in Minnesota.
yeah.
So it's funny that you mention like winter song. I mean, I guess we both mentioned it, but winter songs that somehow became Christmas songs, because I got some words about something that we were talking about earlier. So the band Fleet Foxes, they have a song called White Winter Hymnal. I friggin' love this song. My girlfriend loves this song. Let's listen to a clip of it real quick.
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red as strawberries in summertime.
A nice song, a very pretty, very lush song, but not really a Christmas song. It's more of a winter song than anything. And yet, that didn't stop the group Pentatonics from covering it into a fucking Christmas song.
Oh, no.
Yes, my girlfriend suggested this because at the place where she works, she's had to endure that song endlessly, and she and I both have grown to despise it. After she clued me into its existence, she basically, like, I made the hideous mistake of looking it up, and well, just listen.
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would
Now I'm ancient. Could you, one of you guys, fill me in on like what Pentatonics is?
Pentatonics are an a cappella group that have like blew up on YouTube. They got really big after being on America's Got Talent.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like really famous for doing like a cappella covers of like, you know, modern contemporary songs.
Oh yeah,
They're a lot like
they're
a lot like rockapella except shit.
Yeah, they threw them through auto tune. So
Yeah,
they
this
sound
is
like
going to
fucking
show my own
robots.
biases, but I fucking cannot abide by a cappella music.
I totally agree. It makes me irrationally angry.
I mean, individually, these people are clearly very talented. They have nice voices. They have a talent of sorts, and it's being wasted on just taking contemporary songs and turning it into mouth farts. Just taking like, oh, here's Single Ladies.
Was that like a beatbox of Single Ladies?
Something like that.
People love this shit, though.
You couldn't tell that was Single Ladies?
Yeah, it did sound just like it.
And
People love that shit, though. It's nuts.
And here's the thing. White Winter Hymnal not only is not a Christmas song, it's a song about murder. The line, "And Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red as strawberries in summertime," which is like the hook of the song, it refers to a guy's blood staining the snow. It's not a Christmas song.
Ugh.
Like, when I was looking up the video on YouTube, there were all kinds of comments of like, oh, but if you interpret it this way, the kids falling on their cute little bum on the snow and having a... It's a song about murder!
Yeah, that's pretty clear cut to me.
I mean, you could interpret it any way you like. You'd be wrong, but you can do that.
Man, that's
Pack
depressing.
are wearing scarves to keep their heads from falling off.
Right, pretty much. I mean...
It's a load-bearing scarf.
Oh boy, my goodness.
Yeah, that just actually reminded me, my good friend Nate sent me a message like late last night that was like, dude, you got to listen to Sooyan Stevens' Christmas album. Not that they're like anything like Fleet Foxes or anything, but like they're kind of in that general wheelhouse. But it was pretty terrible.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It was just really, really like precious and
Yeah, Sooyan Stevens have always struck me as a little too precious for like their own good.
yeah, and he's a weird cat. He did that song about John Wayne Gacy. He did that song about Tanya Harding. Feel like he doesn't his like he's talented. He's a talented dude, but
I'm
but like
sure.
his like approach is pretty safe, so he takes risks like as an individual, as like, you know, so in like social media or like, and it's always just like, you know, little things like writing a song about Tanya Harding. Like,
yeah,
take that.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that's always kind of turned me off about Sooyan Stevens. Like, so much of it is just like, oh, check out this album. I'm going to do 50 state albums. This one's all about Illinois. And that's great. Do it over there. I don't care.
All right, what else we got?
Wine.
Mm.
Let's see. Just going by like my notes. How do you guys feel about Santa Baby?
I hate it.
I mean,
There's nothing to feel. I just die a little inside every time I fucking hear it.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
It's definitely one of those songs that, I mean, I kind of appreciate it on just how silly of a level it is. I mean, clearly, you know, when people like Marilyn Monroe and Eartha Kitt did it, they were clearly in on the joke.
Yeah.
I can't tell if I've heard the original Eartha Kitt version. Most of the versions I've seen are where someone got the bright idea to do it in the character of Harley Quinn.
Ugh.
Those exist.
That sounds creepy. Like, even creepier than Santa Baby.
Yeah.
Especially if you know anything about the character Harley Quinn.
Right.
But, like, I feel like most modern covers either, like, this is a problem I've noticed with a lot of Christmas songs. They either take it and either twee it up too much and make it too cute and precious, or they just oversex it to oblivion.
Well, what's obnoxious about it, it's that, like, cutesy raunchy, cutesy sexy, sexy, just like makes me cringe.
It's a very fine line.
Yeah.
And if you're not, like, absolutely in the right spot, then it just turns into just it just turns problematic.
The problem is they throw it on like regular Christmas. Like I'm sure there's like a time and a place for Santa Baby, if at all. Like it's maybe like you and your partner kicked back a couple things of eggnog, and the kids have gone to sleep, and you put it on your Bose speaker in the bedroom and like get down. Like that's an appropriate venue, I think, for getting sexy on Christmas.
Right. And it still has some little element of class and dignity to it.
Yeah, it's private, but
right.
When you're putting it on like in between Rudolph and like Frosty the Snowman, when I'm like at the mall,
there's children about.
There's like children around. I remember like hearing the song, and I would be waiting on customers at Whole Foods, like old ladies, and just feeling uncomfortable with the situation because we were both hearing it. Like just
Madonna's version in particular makes me feel
Madonna
incredibly
did a
uncomfortable.
version. She like really played up the whole sort of like, oh Santa, I want you, kind of thing.
Yeah,
you choke me, Daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the millennial version.
Yeah, that's the thing. If your version of Santa Baby goes too far, then it sort of drifts into that sort of creepy territory of like just some butt rock band doing a song where it's like, come on, sit on Santa's lap.
Oh yeah, like Theory of a Dead Man or some shit.
Oh God.
Or one of those bands that apparently still exist. I hear them on. Those bands are all still alive and well on WAAF too.
Wait, that station is alive.
That's like the only.
Yeah.
That's the only place they're alive, really.
Yeah.
The only place I've ever heard the only station I've ever heard get excited for like coming up next, win tickets to Saliva. This may blow your minds. Guess which band has done a cover of Santa Baby?
Saliva.
No, but that would blow my mind. I'll give you a hint. We were just talking about the 90s a moment ago. Time's up. It's Everclear.
What?
Oh wait. I think I do that.
Everclear.
So Art Alexakis takes a break from resolving his daddy issues on stage to record a sultry Christmas anthem.
To resolving his mother issues.
Give a listen, why don't you?
Santa baby, just slip a guitar under the tree for me. Been an awful good boy, Santa baby. Hurry down the chimney tonight.
He's been an awful good boy, guys.
No,
he said so. He said so himself. If you can't believe Art Alexakis about how good of a boy he's been, who can you believe?
Just pet him on the head. Tell him he's a good boy.
The second
good boy.
The second verse gets even worse because he continues the whole line where, like, the lyric in the second verse is Santa Cutie, and he goes Santa Cutie. I mean, it's the 2010s, and things are a bit more loose, but
that's
not okay.
I was just gonna say
no. I mean, obviously, this probably was more problematic during the 90s than it is now, is what I'm saying.
Wow.
And during the bridge, it goes like, think of all the fun I've missed. Think of all the girlies that I could have kissed. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I've listened to Learning How to Smile. I know all about them. Thank you.
So Santa Baby was originally released as like a 7-inch single, and the B-side was a song called "Hating You for Christmas," which really sounds a little more in tune with like typical Everclear. Here's a little clip of it. This is a song that just kind of reeks of, okay, we have this song about, Art being jilted again. So why don't we add Christmas into it so that we can market it with this incredibly grimy cover of Santa Baby?
Why not just go to that rich pool of inspiration that is his daddy abandonment issues?
Pretty
like,
much.
Dad, why didn't you?
He writes a lot of
come
songs
home for
about
Christmas,
that, doesn't he? It's like he writes as many songs about daddy issues as Korn is still writing songs about being beaten up in high school.
Aaron Lewis too.
And Limp Bizkit.
Still writing songs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Limp Bizkit's still going.
Not to tie it back into a previous episode, but go listen to our episode on Results May Vary for more.
Is there a Limp Bizkit Christmas song, maybe?
I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me, and I'm not sure how much I want to find out. It seems like a path not worth going down.
Yeah.
Oof.
So
oof.
I'm just gonna cut in real quick. How many songs are there about Santa Claus? Like where he's the main character?
About Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Like
what do we
that's
got?
A good question. There has to be quite a few.
I feel like there isn't. I feel like there aren't as many as we think there is, because there's like Santa Claus is coming to town.
Really?
There's like Up on the Rooftop.
So hang on. When you say focuses on Santa as the main character, do you mean like just a song about Santa Claus doing stuff? Or...
Yeah, like we're like in Rudolph is the main character, and Santa's the starring as.
So not just songs about people singing about Santa Claus.
I mean, yeah, they're like songs about like his comings and goings, basically.
And those that we do have seem to have this air of observational, like we're tracking Santa Claus like the Yeti. It's not like it's ties into this idea. Oh, there's stuff we don't know about Santa Claus.
Oh, he's like a goblin.
Like it's an Attenborough documentary.
Yes.
We now find ourselves across the Serengeti, where we've heard that Santa Claus regularly lurks among the wildebeests.
I will now.
What he's doing in Africa, we're not entirely sure, but we got a hot tip.
I will now do the Christmas call. Is that you, Santa Claus?
Sales!
Yeah, Is That You, Santa Claus is another one I just forgot about,
Wait,
which
that's
I
a song?
covered. That's the one that Gremlins covered.
That's a song that was.
Exists?
I didn't know that was
That's
a cover.
Louis
I thought that
Armstrong.
was an original song.
No, it's Louis Armstrong and Jack Fox.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
I
and
guess.
like it's basically like he's this errant goblin. Is that you? What are you doing here? Get out of here.
Is that literally all the song is? Like, hey, Santa, get out of here.
Basically, it's like he's trying to fucking sleep, and this guy's trying to sneak into his house and eat his cookies and give him shitty presents.
It wasn't Santa.
It wasn't Santa.
It's never Santa. It wasn't Santa, and I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus, so it's not Santa now.
Wait, it wasn't?
I mean, like, the underlying theme that I think I understand about that song is, like, the unspoken... Like, it's supposed to be sung from the... it's supposed to be sung from the perspective of, like, a little kid, which makes it extra weird whenever you see adults sing it in an adult voice. But, like, the underlying thing is, like, the kid doesn't know that that's actually Daddy dressed as Santa Claus kissing Mommy. And his parents aren't on the rocks.
Presumably.
So that song takes on a whole new meaning when you find out that there's no Santa.
I suppose it does.
I wonder what that's like. I wonder how that dissonance plays out in a child's head.
I had to beg my mother to tell me, because I had figured it out. And I had begged her year after year, and finally, when I was 13, she confessed that Santa wasn't real.
Like, you just wanted that confirmation?
I just wanted the confirmation. I had to hear it from the source.
You've been making me wrap presents since I was 9, Mom.
I just want to know that all this popcorn I've been stringing wasn't for naught.
No, my sister told me we shared a room when I was young. I was like 6 or 7. It sucked, but I pretended for like another few years.
I don't think my parents ever told me. Like, I think it just kind of like I just kind of figured it out on my own, and then like they just sort of realized, oh, okay.
I don't remember either. I think it was just kind of like, okay, we can phase this out now.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was kind of unspoken that like both Glenn and I knew at one point like Santa Claus wasn't real. So yeah.
All right, honey, here's a gift from
Don't patronize me. Don't patronize me, Dad.
Bob.
Oh, thank you, Santa.
Wink, wink. It actually says like to Lee from Santa, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
It's like, come on. Oh no, this is from my coworker Santos. He's from Portugal.
Santos Klaus.
Portugal and from by way of Germany.
He's from Argentina. He's one of those escaped Nazis.
Oh, don't say that.
Sorry. Don't say that about poor Santos. He's such a good worker. He always listens to directions.
He just follows orders.
Oh, all right.
Oh, problematic.
Merry fucking Christmas.
Santos Klaus, if you're listening, come on the podcast. Okay, so strap yourselves in because I am going to introduce you to what is possibly the creepiest thing that you will ever hear that has any connection to Santa Claus. You've probably heard it at some point, but make no mistake, this will leave you cringing to the nth degree.
Christmas time has come. Toys for everyone. As Christmas time has come for you. I remember.
Stop it.
It's come for you.
That was Smashing Pumpkins delivering their own original song called Christmas Time.
No.
And it's coming. It's coming for you.
He's coming.
This was originally part of the third A Very Special Christmas compilation, one of the few original songs on the album. It also included such gems as Hootie and the Blowfish singing the Christmas song and an original Christmas song by Blues Traveler.
Oh.
I won't go further into that because just the idea itself is hilarious.
I mean, John Popper.
Just Blues Traveler doing an original Christmas song.
I bet
Santa, Santa, Santa.
I bet he
that-
moonlighted as a Santa sometimes, John Popper.
He has the figure for it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But that Smashing Pumpkins song, ugh, my God.
Yeah, no good. That Very Special Christmas album, didn't that have Chris Cornell singing Ave Maria?
I think that might have been. That might have been the same album. I know it was definitely on a Very Special Christmas compilation.
It was him and Natasha Snyder did where she arranged it. Did a version of Ave Maria where he sang. It was pretty classy. It was pretty well done.
Yeah. I mean, this is not to denigrate the rest of the compilation, but that song.
There's
a fine line between something being
reprehensible.
whimsical and just like Stranger Things level of eerie.
Yeah, I feel like I've walked into that like grimy underworld and I've got that goo on me.
If this doesn't cross over that line, it's doing like a really creepy like goblin dance over the top of it. that melody, doesn't it sound so much like some children's show? Not like a modern children's show, but like one of those weird British children's shows from like the 80s or something where it's like do 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 do. Come on down, children. It's time for another anthology series from our lovely friends at Topfer Terrace. Here's our good friend, Mr. Cramblies. He's got his own problems. Oh, boy. I remember hearing that song a lot whenever I did retail, and that no one else got creeped out about it just creeped me out even more.
Yeah, I need to take a shower.
That and Noel Gallagher's version of Merry Christmas by Slade, which, you know, I could say many things about that song. Oof. You don't know that song?
I don't think so. Do you have it queued up?
I don't have a clip. I should have. We'll edit it in later.
Yeah. You sing it to me?
Edit this part out. You'll probably recognize it from his chorus that goes like, so here it is, Merry Christmas, everybody's having fun. No, it's not.
I
Look,
recognize.
there's Santa Claus.
And then because it's a Slade song, everything has to be like completely weird at one point because like they just repeat the chorus over and over at the end, and then their singer Noddy Holder just for no reason, just out of nowhere goes, "It's Christmas!"
And
That's why I moved my head away. I could see that peeking in the audio.
Oh yeah, we'll fix that in
apparently,
post.
apparently, according to TV tropes, this is like the key marker that the Christmas season has begun in Britain, since they do not have the buffer zone of Thanksgiving. So Brits basically say the first time that this gets BBC radio airplay of the year, that is the marker of the opening of the Christmas season, which often leads people to say, no, it's not, it's October.
Yeah, I don't know how much of an impact Slade necessarily made on America, but they were gigantic in Britain when they were in their heyday.
So, do they celebrate Christmas in Britain? I thought they just did Boxing Day.
I mean, Father Christmas had to come from somewhere.
Or at least from,
otherwise, the Kinks
He's
were
from
just
Scandinavia.
Otherwise, the Kinks.
Sinterklaas.
That's true. Otherwise, the Kinks would have just been beating up some random vagrant for their money in that song.
I mean, that's not terribly unlikely.
Yeah, I guess not for that era.
I'm
of
sure
Kinks.
Ray Davies has beat up a few bums in his day. Ooh, is that
boy,
problematic?
Oh boy. Oof. So this one is probably not going to earn me some points, but I also got some words to say about this classic traditional one.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch.
Okay, before everyone just turns the thing off, let me just be very clear. The original Thurl Ravenscroft version is great. The original is perfect.
I was just about to look up that name. I fucking love Thurl Ravenscroft.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best.
He's a national
Beautiful
treasure.
basso voice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
He's the vacuum from the Brave Little Toaster. And Tony the Tiger.
He is, that's right.
What?
Yeah, and Tony the Tiger, dude.
I knew Tony the Tiger. I did not know the vacuum. The Brave Little Toaster.
It's the same fucking voice.
Oh, yeah, touche.
He's like, this sucks. I'm the vacuum. The fuck? It's leading me through the forest. I got pine cones all up in my woozy whoops.
In my bag.
That's your Thurl Ravenscroft?
Yeah.
It just sounds like some guy running a bar in East Boston.
I need to lower it another
This
couple
sucks.
octaves.
Yeah. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we don't got any gets it. So no, I have no problem with the original version that Thurl Ravenscroft did.
Thurl Ravenscroft is.
His essence has been
thank you.
captured into this recording.
Yeah.
This wax cylinder recording for all
And
of eternity.
anyone that like records it the way that Thurl Ravenscroft did, because I've heard some amazing like operatic basso voices doing that version. Any other kind doesn't really it really kind of misses the mark pretty well.
He is such a one of a kind voice. Like,
Yeah.
you can't.
It has the same problem that I have with Santa Baby. Like it either sounds way too twee and precious, or it gets into some really just weird territory. Like there's a version that my girlfriend clued me into, this one that they've been playing a lot at work. We've never been able to find out who the singer is, but it's one of those Starbucks ready, like wispy voiced, probably wearing a knit hat female singers who's
a
playing
manic pixie dream
who's playing
girl.
a ukulele.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's the death knell really for that. Just once the ukulele comes out, it's no.
Yeah.
And it just always either makes it sound like, oh, the Grinch is just an adorable character, which he is, but that's not what that song is about. Or there's a surprising amount of like loungy big band versions of that song that make it sound like, hey, that Grinch is a cool cat. And like, just to jump off topic real quick, I will just say Brian Setzer can go to hell. I will never abide by like any Brian Setzer related Christmas covers and stuff. I was in Staples earlier today because my printer was on the fritz I could print my notes out, and there was like some Brian Setzer orchestra version of Jingle Bells where the chorus basically goes like, oh, what fun it is to drive a 10 horsepower Chevrolet. Hey,
God,
go away, Brian
he's
Setzer.
insufferable.
Nobody likes you.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to hell anyway, so we don't have to banish him there.
Yeah.
Remember Michael Vick like it was the same thing but with cats.
Where are you going
He did
with
that.
this?
I think he did the same thing with
Are
stray
you
cats.
suggesting that Brian Setzer has a dog fighting ring?
A cat
No, that he has a
fighting
stray
ring.
cat fighting ring. He gets like feral cats from the city, and this is not true.
Let it be known right now, Jukebox Zeroes does not approve of cat fighting rings. And
No.
Brian Setzer, if you're listening, come on the podcast and prove us wrong.
And then
I
we
don't
will
know.
tell you to go to hell.
I mean, maybe my opinion on like You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch is kind of like up in the air because as much as I hate all those versions, like of all the cover versions, this one right here is my favorite version.
You're a bastard, Mr. Green. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Green.
That was a local Boston-based band, That Handsome Devil, covering You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Oh.
You may be familiar
interesting.
with them because they had a song in Rock Band 2. And, I mean, it really goes off the deep end in reimagining the cover, but I kind of like it.
That voice
Yeah,
fits.
that's fine.
It's
Just
got
for
a
ha-
greasy quality to it that works well with the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they go off the deep end in making him seem like a loathsome character, but it kind of works. Because now I'm just kind of picturing the Grinch as like this guy wearing a zoot suit with no shirt underneath it, with like a monogrammed butterfly knife and a handle of like Glengarry.
Yeah, well,
Glenn Gooley.
it sounded self-aware, and like you said, it was totally reimagined. They
That
changed
Handsome
some of the
Devil are a
lyrics.
very self-aware band. They
Yeah.
have that kind. What the song that was in Rock Band 2 is about running a bank heist on the White House.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's
But,
a
like,
good one.
I feel like a problem with a lot of Christmas covers is like the lyrics have been said so many times you can hear like the singer just not even acknowledging that they're saying words.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of songs, like you can't help but hear the original, even as you're listening to the new version, trying
just sounds
trying
like-
to put their own spin on it.
Yeah, it just sounds insincere. They're just like saying like Jingle Bell. There's been like thousands, scores of versions of Jingle Bell Rock, and like every single other version,
Oh,
it sounds
God.
like they're just like na 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 na. Hey, okay.
I think Jingle Bell Rock might actually be my least favorite Christmas song.
I think I was rocking around the Christmas tree, but Jingle Bell Rock is pretty heinous.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. I mean, break down that melody. It's a, what a bright time, it's the right time. No.
They come from the same place in some soulless music executive's heart.
Oh yeah.
You just know that someone was just like, those kids, they love that rockabilly music. It's the late 60s by this point. They love those rockin' 50s tunes. How are we going to get those into the department stores?
Just chomping on a big cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just the penguin.
More cocaine. I mean snuff, because it's the 60s.
Yeah.
And we're not grimy and gross yet.
No, certainly
on
not
the
yet.
surface, anyway.
Yeah. Not till someone starts making documentaries and stuff.
I've got a gallon of bourbon in my desk.
Ugh, what a time to be alive, huh?
Yeah, what a time.
Anyway, what else we got? What other? You have any other clips up on deck, or can I? Can I go
I
off
don't really
on
have any
something?
other clips, so like feel free to just sort of free associate.
All right, I kind of feel like we need to address the elephant song in the room, which is
Wait, Wonderful Christmas Time wasn't the elephant in the room?
no. I feel like this song is far more unforgivable. Christmas Shoes.
Oh, yes.
Which-
Christmas shoes.
You know, we don't need to go too far into detail.
How are we supposed to comment on that when Patton Oswalt has already said everything that we wanted to say about it?
Exactly.
And still nothing has been done.
No.
Precisely.
So,
Have
Aimee, you said that there was a movie. You told us that there was a movie, right?
There's a movie that I assume was made for the Hallmark Channel starring Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
And the poster, they ramped up the rouge in his cheeks.
Oh, they put on the Hallmark filter. the soft focus Hallmark filter.
So he just looks fucking adorable.
Is this why Sam Seaborn disappeared from the West Wing? What happened?
That sounds so befitting of a Christmas movie about a Christian rock song.
Oh my god.
Oof.
Thank God for Parks and Rec. That's like the only time I've ever liked Rob Lowe.
Yeah, that's the only time Rob Lowe has ever liked Rob
That may be
Lowe.
the only time anyone will ever like Rob Lowe ever again.
Yeah, I think that's it. So
Oof.
have
any of you guys ever heard that song in a department store ever?
No,
Because I haven't.
I don't think I have.
I had to look it up.
And I think the fact that it's so overtly Christy, like there's a lot of very Christy Christmas songs because a lot of them are about Jesus.
Yeah,
but that one is so like Christy beyond compare. That's probably what kept it out of department stores.
Well, New Song is a Christian band, I believe.
Right.
So
Great name, by the way.
yeah, very very original.
Yeah.
Do you think they just got it from like, okay, we're opening up a new project in Logic Pro? Hey, that's a great band name.
Or they just saved it as New Song. That was like the default name that comes up. New project.
We'll come up with a name later.
There, but for the grace of God, it could have been untitled.
It's a sign they wanted us to call us New Song. So I was gonna watch the movie, but then I didn't really end up having time, so I went on YouTube to listen to the song, kind of just to refamiliarize myself with it. And the music video is the movie.
Really?
It's like clips of the band singing.
That leads me to believe that they didn't have a music video at first.
No.
And then there just happened to be a movie. It was just like, oh my God, this is an opportunity. We could finally get played on MTV.
I mean,
where's everybody going? You don't believe me?
It must have been all tied in together. It might have been they wrote the song for the movie.
I don't think so. I think there was some type of gap.
I feel like the song might have existed before the movie.
When did the song come out?
I want to say like late mid-90s or something like that.
Really, it's that old.
We'll have to look it up.
It was
or maybe very early thousands.
The movie looks very early thousands. Like it has that like. We don't have HD cameras yet, but we'd have recording to look it up, digital.
But I would not be surprised if like the song came out and it just sort of blew up on Christian radio and stuff, because I think that might have been like the only song to New Song's name at that point. And then the Hallmark Channel, it's all family friendly and very very thinly veneer of Christiness. Just looked at it and just like, we can use this.
Oh yeah.
It would not surprise me if that was the case.
So yeah, Rob Lowe is in the video, and the guy who sings, he looks like Aaron Lewis, like the new Aaron Lewis, where he looks
Fat
like
Aaron
that.
Lewis?
Yeah, the newer
Fat Aaron Lewis.
Yeah, it's like Fat Trucker Aaron Lewis, like on his new solo album, where he looks like that uncle that like you thought was cool 10 years ago, but now you've blocked him on Facebook because he's sharing too many racist memes.
Cut him out of his life as soon as you saw the MAGA sticker on his truck.
Oh yeah.
Oof. So like, not to jump off here, but Aaron Lewis can go to hell, right?
Oh yeah.
But that whole sort of like, oh, I'm a country boy and I'm from fucking I'm from Central Massachusetts.
Yeah,
we got pastures out in Springfield, right? Oh, did the cows go into Six Flags?
My uncle actually shared a stage with him a few years ago. Yeah, my uncle is in like a moderately locally successful kind of new metal band, and they played a festival with Stained.
Huh.
And Aaron Lewis had handlers.
Oh my God.
That kept all of the peons at bay.
Oh,
and even the other
He
bands
would.
in the festival weren't allowed to make eye contact.
Oh boy,
with His Majesty Aaron Lewis.
Dear leader, Aaron Lewis.
You'd think, considering how sad sack some of Stain's lyrics are, you'd think Aaron Lewis would want some human interaction.
Yeah, like you would think he would be, at the, Out of the Blue gallery or something, playing a solo set, letting people touch him. His dad never touched him.
Standing around out of the blue going like, to my mother, to my father. No, get away.
Oh, God. Goodness gracious.
Oof.
Yeah. Did Stain do a Christmas song?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I feel
Before
like
we get
really,
off the,
we really should have been looking all this stuff up.
Before we get
time.
off the Aaron Lewis thing, I just realized that this is topical. You were talking about he's claiming to be a country boy because, you know, middle of Massachusetts, kind of rural farmland. So I'm going off on a bit of a tangent to start here. When I was all throughout school, there was a kid, his name was Andy, and everybody made fun of him because he was from Pepperell. Keep in mind, we were in the Chelmsford school system, and it's a bit of a drive, but, you know, his mother worked at Harrington Elementary, so figures we'll just send him to the Chelmsford school system. Anyway, he and I were both in band in the brass section, so we knew each other. And we had there was a group of friends across the various brass sections and the woodwind sections. And they came up with they made a song making fun of Andy. It was a cover of "O Little Town of Bethlehem."
Oh, God. This already doesn't sound...
little town of Pepperell, you are so far away. That's where my good friend Andy lives, among the fields of hay. And when he goes to sleep, there is hardly any sound. For in the town of Pepperell, there is no one around.
Oh, that's kind of cute, actually. I was thinking it was going to be a lot more sinister.
No.
These were high school kids, after all.
I don't know. High school kids are assholes.
Pretty much,
Pretty
yeah.
clever, though.
That is very clever. Very well done.
Yeah.
I would have been like, touche. Pepperell does suck. Sorry for those of you, our listeners out in Pepperell. You have a lovely town.
Yeah.
I love the Rite Aid on Bolton Street. Really great service. They had 2 for $5 Welch's fruit snacks. It was fantastic.
I love that one haystack next to the Sitco. You can tell that, you know.
You mean the defunct Sitco.
The defunct haystack.
Yeah. Things weren't the same when that haystack closed down.
I mean, where are the neighborhood kids supposed to go?
To sleep.
To sleep off a night of drinking PBR.
Where are people
Actually, it would
supposed
have
to
been the
hide
90s,
needles?
so they would have been drinking Zima.
Point.
Drinking Zima and Pepperell.
Yeah, I mean, that
That could be a
happened.
Christmas song.
Drinking Zima and Pepperell, either in the 90s or like this past year when they brought it back.
Drinking Zima and Pepperell. Christmas!
Oh, yeah,
I'm
perfect.
sitting on a haystack. Christmas!
Do, 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 do.
Speaking of just superfluous Christmas, I don't have a clip for this because I don't know what the song is called. I don't know the name of the song. I don't know the artist. I don't know anything. I don't even know the words to the song. But I was in a department store recently, and this has to be like either a modern or at least, you know, very late aughts Christmas song. And I kind of chalk it up to the speakers over the system being not so good, but I heard a song where I couldn't make out the words, so all I heard was some kind of aimless scatting followed by the words Christmas time. Like, it literally just sounded like a guy going like, "Herba-dabba-doo-bap-bow, shabba-dabba-doo-doo-bee, herba-dabba-doo-bow, Christmas time," and repeat over and over again.
Wow, that's just like, that's solid gold. That's
And
just,
I'm not
you
sure
just scat and then say Christmas time.
I'm not
and there
sure
you
I
go.
want to
Boom.
know the actual song just because, you know, the allure of just shabba-dabba-dabba-bo Christmas time
The
is
real
just
thing
so
will
nice.
never live up to your
Exactly.
conception of it in your mind.
Exactly.
Well, it's just like, fuck you. It's Christmas. We're just acknowledge that it's Christmas. No, we're not even going to talk about it. Just, it's Christmas. Like, no frills. Just take it.
Has anybody ever written a song named "Fuck You, It's Christmas"?
Maybe someone should. I mean, for all we know, some band like Psycho Stick already has a song like that.
Yeah, that does sound like a Psycho Stick song title.
They have a Christmas album. It's pretty good stuff, actually. If you like that kind of metal music, which I only sometimes like, but Psycho Stick just puts such a hilarious spin on some of that stuff. If you gave out lyrics for a song, I don't know. I should have brought a clip.
That's fine.
So for all that we've been saying about, how terrible some Christmas songs are, I think we can all agree that there's only one truly pure Christmas song out there. And that brings the podcast to a screeching halt.
I mean, that's
is there
inspired
really
by
more...
Jesus Christ himself, right there.
If you think about it, is there really more pure an expression of holiday joy than just, we made a song sampling dogs singing Jingle Bells?
I mean, where do you go from there?
Pretty much,
that
yeah.
one crosses species. I mean,
once you've crossed that divide, then you have to just discover a whole new, civilization of extraterrestrial life.
I mean, what else could you do but like a whale song Christmas? Or
how would you know that's a Christmas song and not just some New Age song?
Talk about some like hawkish fucking like Christmas music executives that are just like, you know what? We got to get those numbers up. We got to drive those numbers up. Who else can we appeal to?
What do people like? Dogs? People like dogs.
No, I was thinking like, okay, what demographics haven't we reached yet? Dogs? We got to get the dogs on board with Christmas now.
Do dogs know what Jingle Bells are? Too late. I made the call. What do people like? Dogs, food, dinner, breakfast. Wait, go back to dogs. Can we break for lunch? Shut up, we're going with dogs.
Telling you, dogs are generous creatures. They have a lot of buying power. We're going to roll out dog credit cards next year.
They're very generous, loving creatures. You take a stick, you throw it, they'll bring it right back to you. You throw them a Christmas song and they'll come back to you with money. It makes sense.
Yeah, cats will just bring you a fucking dumb dead bird or something.
If they even bother to bring you anything.
Yeah.
If they even get up.
Hasn't remembered the past few Christmases. He just, shows up every 5 years and brings me a dead bird. Like, that's good enough for you.
Yeah. That'll do, cat. That'll do.
I was saying the cat is saying that to me. This bird is good enough for you.
That'll do, Pat. That'll do.
Oh, gracious.
Yeah, that is. And you know what? I've yet to hear like a good cover of the Jingle Bells dogs barking song. So
it's kind of untouchable.
When you showed me that new Gremlin song you put out, you were telling me that you were toying with the idea of doing a cover of that.
I mean, how can I really top that? That's pretty OG right there. I think Suyun Stevens could probably do a pretty good barking
I don't know.
Christmas song.
He'd probably add too many instruments to it.
Yeah. Or just be like put way too much vocal affectation on the barks.
Here's my cover of
Bark, bark.
Here's my cover of Christmas Dogs. It's got backing vocals by Connor Oberst and Lindsey Sterling on violin. Oh, you fucked up. You've already fucked up, Soo-Yun. Go back and try again.
Well, I think we've covered everything that we could possibly cover.
Yep, we've covered all the Christmas songs there are.
I mean, there's really only 14.
Yep. Only 14 Christmas songs.
Yeah,
no more Christmas songs ever.
No.
We haven't forgotten one.
Not a single one. I mean, what else is there? I think there's a...
What about that Band-Aid song?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Do they know it's Christmas?
The most tone-deaf song on the planet.
Yeah.
Oof.
You mean the song that paints Africa as a desolate, fallout wasteland?
There won't be snow in Africa this Christmas.
Be glad it's them and not you.
Instead of you.
Wow,
yeah.
Thanks, Bob Geldof. that really touched my
I feel
heart.
so much better.
Here's a true story. For a while, I was like, as a side project to Surprise Party, I was in a folk punk band with a bunch of friends around Lowell. it didn't really go very far. But during practices, like our guitarist would just to stay in practice would just play acoustic renditions of emo songs by like what are some
Yellow Card and
no, like even
Census Fail.
No, not like even deeper than that, like Hawthorne Heights and that sort of stuff.
Oh,
and like every so
Back
often, I would
Sunday.
just ruin it. Just every time she was about to sing like the main chorus hook, I would just cut in with "Do they know it's Christmas time at all?" Everyone else in the band loved it, but she would just stop and just kind of give me a gross look.
It's like some people don't care that it's Christmas because they don't celebrate Christmas.
How else would you know that you're supposed to feed the world?
I forgot about that. I forgot about the feed the world.
Really? You
part.
forgot the main, like, crescendo hook of the song? The big climax?
I guess I had probably gone somewhere else in my head at that point.
That's true. It is kind of a meandering song.
I mean, the song was only really asking you to do that in 1986, right?
Right. And Africa doesn't have any more problems now whatsoever.
Oh, no, they're
None
fine.
at all.
Yeah.
Good job, Africa.
Yeah,
They actually
good job,
did a
guys.
remake of that song a while ago, I think, to celebrate like the 20th anniversary of it. They did it, like Bob Geldof gathered a bunch of people together to do a new version of it. That was also to like raise money for Africa. I forget some of the names that were on it, except to say that Dizzy Rascal was on it.
Ooh.
You don't know Dizzy Rascal? He's a grime rapper from the UK.
Is he one of the Rascal Flats?
Yes, Pat, he's one of the Rascal Flats.
No, I'm not familiar.
But like basically when they got to the feed the world part, in between there'd just be some verse of Dizzy Rascal going like, feed the world, everybody go to that. Feed the world, everybody everywhere.
Everybody
Okay.
everywhere has to feed the world? Like, what about the people who don't have the food? What about the recipients?
Everywhere, including Africa. Feed yourself.
And then you got to give it back.
Feed
Syria is just like,
your-
we just got done with a civil war. Now we have to feed Africa? Jeez.
Yeah, seriously. Not everybody. Just the people who are fucking, hoarding up all the resources in the world, looking at you, America, and
Either
most
way,
of the
it's-
westernized world.
My point is it's an interesting contrast. Like, I don't know if you guys heard that tone deaf, completely terrible like remake of What's Going On that was made after 9/11.
I must have missed that one.
Okay. There was like, as a charity single, there was like an all-star studded version of What's Going On that was remade that had, just to name a couple of the people on it, Bono, Nelly Furtado, Adam Levine from Maroon 5,
Right.
Ja Rule, and our best friend Fred Durst
Get the
doing
fuck
a
out.
dumb rap over like, the bridge.
Was this like a
Where
pay-to-play
he's like, we
scenario?
gotta come together. We gotta fight. This is true. Look it up. It's terrible. Yeah, don't look it up.
Yeah,
I'm
better
wouldn't wish
off.
that. I wouldn't wish that upon you guys. Just know that it's awful and Fred Durst is in it.
Yeah, we did the legwork for you.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Oh, charity singles.
Yeah.
Why? I get the feeling that should be an episode in the future. Just something on charity singles.
Yeah,
Just in general.
I think so. Fuck charities, man.
You know what else we should You know what else we should cover in the future? Sports teams doing songs. You remember during the 80s when there was that long trend of like after the Super Bowl shuffle was such a big hit.
Yeah, the Super Bowl shuffle, right?
My favorite one was the New York Mets did a version in the 1980s called Get Metsmerized.
Trying to drum up some excitement for the Mets because
Yep, for the Mets World Series.
who could possibly care about the Mets?
With a verse with Rafael Santana being like, Rafael Santana in the groove, my ball playing really smooth. This is true, look it up.
Ooh, that was bad.
Cause Christmas.
Because Christmas.
Christmas is all about baseball.
It's all about just getting on that diamond. running those bases like Santa Claus always did.
Oof. Can we really go anywhere from here?
I
No.
don't think so.
I don't think so. And it's we're running down the clock.
Yeah, we
here.
got a hard out this time around, so why don't we just wrap it up now?
Yeah. So
All right.
why don't we wish everybody a happy holiday, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, please stick with us into next
Hanukkah.
year.
Yeah.
And let's thank our guests, Aimee and Glenn, for coming on the program. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you.
It's a lot of fun.
Thank you for letting
Yeah.
us into your home.
I don't suppose you guys have anything you'd like to plug.
No.
Not particularly.
Right. Asked and answered. All right.
I got nothing. I'm going to plug Christmas, actually. It's a holiday that we celebrate next week.
Yeah, you should try Christmas.
You should try it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That sounds
It's
like
everywhere.
that sounds like that. Should,
everywhere. Christmas, it's everywhere.
that sounds like that should be a song title.
Ask your local retail worker if Christmas is right for you.
Make sure you are healthy enough to experience Christmas.
You may experience side effects such as depression, anxiety, and
fruitcake.
existential.
Existential dread
Yeah,
and fruitcake.
and fruitcake.
Christmas may cause anal leakage.
Ooh, definitely from that fruitcake.
What's in the eggnog?
Oh,
Yeah.
nah. Yeah, it's just more of that for 2 hours.
I actually just want to get a clip of us all doing sound effects, and I'll kind of like punch up the audio.
Just put clips in from some random album, but the rest of it is still just us doing sound effects.
Like I tell a joke that doesn't really land, and I just have like a clip of Glenn going, "Oh yeah, that joke sucked."
Like we're a morning, like we're a morning zoo crew now.
Yeah, we need some toilets flushing and dogs farting and.
Hey everybody! You're listening to Grizzly Berry and Lunatic Lee on the morning. Wow!
Coming at you hot.
Wow! We got tickets for Saliva after the break.
5 past the hour in the A. We're going to break.
Z105.
Hey, how about those clouds in Congress, huh?
Yeah, they sure are. Anyway,
We already did that joke, I think.
that wouldn't surprise me. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Our theme song is Sunny Day by the band Froggy and the Friendship. You can check them out at froggyandthefriendship.bandcamp.com. If you've got an album you'd like to suggest for us to review in the new year, or would like to just leave us some feedback or a comment, email us at jukeboxzeroespodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/jukeboxzeroespodcast, or on Twitter at twitter.com/jukeboxzeroes. And we are now available to subscribe on iTunes. Look for Jukebox.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Leave us
go-
some reviews and ratings, please.
Yeah, leave us some. We'll read them on the air if they're silly enough.
Yeah. We'll read the 1-star reviews. You better fucking believe me.
Yeah. Please, if you're going to leave us a 1-star review, we beg of you, please throw grammar and spelling to the wind.
Yes. And also realize that we are not professional music critics in any way or even professional sound engineers. But I think we sound pretty good.
Yeah, we
regardless.
sound all right. We got our plosives in check this time around.
Yeah. We get a little better each week.
Yeah. But anyway, go check us out. Go look up Jukebox Zeroes on Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating and a review. And our archive main page is jukeboxzeroes.podbean.com. That'll do it for this episode of Jukebox Zeroes. I'm Lee.
I'm Patrick.
And remember,
Happy Halloween.
bye-bye.